And what's the mother city looking like? Cape Town also pulling out all the stops to ensure their holidaymakers and locals are travelling safely. Let's head down to Aviwe Mtila, looking at what is happening in that part of the country. Hello to you, Aviwe. In a very different picture, we had EMS and we had first responders. Behind you, I'm seeing the yellow and blue of the police. What have you got for us?
Well, it's a wet weather here in the oldest township in South Africa. That's Kwalanga in Cape Town, but that hasn't stopped the heavy police contingency from coming out in their numbers. That's part of Operation Paseka. That would talk to, of course, the tightening of the law enforcement agencies and just looking out and the crime efforts by the police over the Easter weekend. In fact, I'm joined now by the Provincial Police Commissioner, General Patekile, just to tell us maybe what they have in store. General, thank you for joining us, flanked, of course, by the Deputy General in the Western Cape. Maybe tell us about the operations today.
Thank you. Operations today is Operation Paseka. It's a national operation that we normally do during this time of the year. You will understand that at this time people are relaxing at home, some are on the road traveling, and some are especially in the places of worship. So we've got to ensure that those who are practicing their religions, they are also safe as they move around, because at this time you find that people, they go and drop them on to and from where the places of worship, also the vehicles that are around those areas, they get broken, they get stolen. And again, on the road, because the roads are full with traffics, people are going away, people coming to this province, some are going away from this province, hence we are also visible in those areas. But what we're looking at the generators of our crime, which is abuse of liquor, the drugs, the firearms, and many other things, especially cases like GBV cases at this stage, that we've got to ensure that at least we are there, especially the victims of the GBVs, but preventative measures, our visibility on the street, making sure that people, they are and feel safe as they move around during this time of the festival.
And I see the police behind you are actually lining up, ready to go and move into Langa. What will you be doing here? Any specific areas you'll be targeting?
Look, we got a number of, as I said, there will be VCPs in Langa, in the areas where hotspot areas where we're going to be concentrating on. There are also those who will be dealing with liquor outlets and doing enforcement, also checking if they're underage or no transgressions in those areas. And then there is also what you call high density operations. High density means high visibility in areas doing stop and searches, but in the hotspot areas.
Okay, and of course we saw a lot of movement, especially from people leaving the Western Cape, heading to the Eastern Cape from yesterday. How's the picture been like? Any major incidents or crime-related issues that you've picked up in the last 24 hours?
We are happy right now that we have not had any of the major incidents, especially on our roads. And also we haven't had of any serious fatalities that we've had, because if you take the N1 and the N2 and the N7, these are the roads that are coming in and out of the province. We are visible there. We've got permanent roadblocks in those areas integrated with the provincial traffics and the municipal traffics in those areas. We are happy right now up to where we are now, what we've seen and that's been reported. That's why we want to ensure that at least from now on up to the end of the Easter weekend, we enforce the laws, we're ensuring that people are safe, and if we can prevent attacks on our citizens, then it would be the biggest achievement that we would have.
Okay, and maybe lastly, what advice would you have for the viewer at home, Cape Townians, and just around the Western Cape over the Easter period and just looking out for themselves?
Firstly, we want to say happy Easter weekend to all the Christians, and it's also a Ramadan at this time. The people are also through the Ramadan. We're saying we are with them, we support everybody, but be safe. Make sure that you report any things that you see that there are suspicious things around. We have the dedicated numbers that you always look at, but if you see that, then report to the police. The police are outside. It's not only in Langa, the whole of the city of Cape Town and all of the province who are out there and making sure that you are safe. And those who are visiting, those who are coming into the Western Cape, we are welcome, but we remain safe. Those who are going out and you're coming back, we'll be welcoming them back to the Western Cape.
Okay, thank you very much. Provincial Commissioner General Patekile there, of course, as the police have lined up, ready to go into Ulanga. We'll be bringing you, of course, the update after 5 o'clock on where the operations are and what's happened, of course, as they move in this operation, Paseka, as it's termed, around the Easter period.
Yeah, it's always a very different policing operation, isn't it, Aviwe, when the sun begins to set, especially a long weekend like Easter. Hope everybody will be safe. Aviwe Mtila, thank you very much. Back down to you in the Western Cape later. Also, our reporter Des Ntathia in Durban. Easter weekend watch on the roads, keeping everybody safe.